Hello, and welcome to my corner. In this video, I wanted to share with you how I connect my Donner Arena 2000 guitar effects pedal with the Boss Katana II 50-watt amp. I'm not a professional musician as such, but I do enjoy playing the guitar, and so here we are. Initially, it was just me and my guitar, and I plugged it in straight into the Boss Katana amp. Sounded great, works fine. However, recently I decided to expand my setup and get myself a multi-effects pedal, and I decided on the Donner Arena 2000. Number one, because I was on a budget, and number two, I read some great reviews about it. But after receiving the unit, when I first connected it to the amp, it didn't sound that great. So, you know, I knew I was doing something wrong. So after a bit of research and experimentation, I found ways to get great sounds, and so I'm sharing that with you today. So there are a few ways to connect the Donner Arena to the Katana, but there's something important to remember. Both of these devices are essentially modelers, right? The Donner Arena has tons of amp models, and the Katana is essentially an amp modeler too. So using both modeling functions at the same time can result in an overly colored tone, which might not sound great. So knowing how to connect these two devices together is actually very important. So the first method that I wanted to share with you is basically using the Donner Arena 2000 as a pure effects pedal. In this method, basically all you need to do is turn off the amp and cab modeling functionalities on the Donner and connect the output directly into the Katana's main input. This way, the Katana's amp modeling would be the one handling your tone. So the downside of this, you can't really customize the signal chain that much, and basically the effects on the Donner places them before the amp side. It's a simple setup, but it works. The second method that I wanted to share is basically using the Katana as a clean platform. Here, you're not relying on the Katana's amp modeling features, and for this to work, you need to set the Katana to its cleanest amp model, and make sure to have the gain set at 0, the EQ knobs at 12 o'clock, and all the effects turned off. Then you use the Donner Arena's amp modeling to shape your tone, and I would recommend turning off the cab simulation as well. Essentially, your Katana acts as your cabinet. And the third and final method that I would suggest for you to try out is the third method, which is connecting to the Katana's power amp in. And this is my preferred connection method as well. So for the best results, essentially what you need to do is connect the output of your Donner straight into the power amp in jack on the back of the Katana. So if you look at the back panel of your Katana head unit, you should see a power amp in, and connect your output jack straight into the power amp in jack. This essentially bypasses the Katana's preamp and effects blocks, which sends the Donner signal directly into the power amp section of the Boss Katana. Then you use the Donner's amp modeling features, but I would still recommend leaving the cab modeling off. Just for some reason, it doesn't sound great to my ears. This gives you the most flexibility in shaping your tone and as well as managing your signal chain. And so there you have it. A quick rundown on connecting the Donner Arena 2000 to a Boss Katana II 50-watt amp. These tips apply to most modeling pedals, not just a Donner, and as well as most modeling amps. This, however, does not apply to solid state amps and or tube amps. So this connection method, pretty much is limited for modeling amps as well as modeling guitar effects pedals. Well, I hope you found this video helpful. Please like, subscribe, and leave a comment.